Hola, mi nombre es Eddie Monstro. Wait a minute. Wait. This is wrong. Hold on a second. What's up, everybody? That's right. It's your main man, Eddie Monster here. May have been wondering who was that handsome devil with the Texas mask on. Well, it was me. That's right. Because this past weekend I went to AEW All In, which took place at Globe Life Field in Dallas. Arlington, Texas, technically speaking. And I thought, what a perfect idea for today's edition of Eddie's Top 5. So officially, here we go. What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Eddie Monster here. And we've got another exciting edition of Eddie's Top 5 because today we are doing the Top 5 Texas metal bands. That's right. We're going to be counting them down from 5 to 1 right here for all of you out there. All right, so I'm just going to start with our bands that didn't make it, a.k.a. honorable mention. There's a lot of bands, and there's a lot of bands that, much like one of the bands on the list I just discovered, I've just been listening to recently. So shout outs to Frozen Soul, Fit for a King, and then a legendary band from Texas, Dangerous Toys, but I consider them more hard rock than metal, even though Shadows Fall has covered one of their songs, whatever. But those are honorable mention. Now to the list. And this band coming in at number 5 is one that I just felt was special the moment I saw them for the very first time on MTV. It was their episode for Bodies. It was just such a pleasure. But Drowning Pool is one of those bands that had so much potential to be so big, but unfortunately, Dave the Stage Williams passed away back in 2002. And 3 weeks before he did, I saw for the first time him and Drowning Pool at Ozfest. They were on the main stage. They did this amazing cover of Creeping Death. And one of the coolest moments, I'll never forget it, was during Tearaway, where he's doing the song. He gets right to that part where he says, "God damn it, I love me." The whole crowd just fucking said it. And he was like, holy shit. He was like, right on. Such an awesome moment in time. I wish I could relive that memory over and over again, but it's ingrained right in here. I'll never forget Drowning Pool, dude. So much energy. Unfortunately, they're at number 5 because there's been so many iterations of different singers, from Ryan McCombs to Jason Moreno, so on and so forth. And they just haven't quite lived up, in my opinion, to that first record. Although they're not bad releases, I'm not saying anything. I love 37 Stitches. I love some of the other tracks here and there, like Step Up, so on and so forth. But they just don't compare to that first record. That first record from top to bottom, unbelievable, if I do say so myself. So, yeah. Coming in at number 4 is a band that I have to thank a friend of mine for sharing it with me, and that is the band Kubla Khan, Texas. I don't know why they had to differentiate themselves by calling themselves Kubla Khan, Texas, but it doesn't matter, and they've got some unbelievable shit that you just got to listen to. They're a great metalcore band. Exhibition of Prowess, such an amazing record. Cannibals, featuring Dave Peters, Darwinism. There's just so many great songs in that record. I'm addicted to Kubla Khan, Texas right now, and I'm like going through their whole entire discography. I really am on Spotify or wherever you get your music. Doesn't matter, right? So yeah, right there at number 4, Kubla Khan, Texas. Of course, you know, who's going to make it at number 3? The first time I heard this band, it was their song Freya. I got it on a sampler, right? Because there was this record store that used to give out samplers every once in a while. And then some of the magazines, too, did it, too, like Metal Hammer and so on and so forth. But the first track I ever heard was this track called Freya, and it comes from The Sword. I just loved their sound. It just seemed more full than most other like bands. I don't know how else to say it, but I just loved it. Age of Winter's great album. Lots of great stuff. Iron Swan. Tres Brujas is another great song, which is off of Warped Riders. They're such a great band. I'm glad to see that. I believe they're back together and they're doing shit again. Awesome to see, for sure. Coming in at number 2 is Power Trip. And I loved Riley Gale. The first time I heard Riley Gale, I've done a tribute episode to him on the podcast. It was a sad moment when Riley Gale passed away. Such a genius. The first time I ever heard Power Trip was the album Nightmare Logic. And it was the Executioner's tax there, the Swing of the Axe. Such an awesome song. I that crossover thrash sound that they were doing, so fucking awesome, so amazing. And even Manifest Destination is such a cool album. You know what I mean? Great songs, you know what I mean? Murderer's Row, so on and so forth. So this is why I have them at number 2. I think they're fucking just badass. Texas metal all the way right there. I want to send out a shout out real quick before I get to number 1. I just want to send a shout out to a band that I believe is no longer together anymore. Unfortunately, that kind of sucks, but they were a cool band. I met them in person back in 2008, 2009. It was somewhere around there. It was whenever Ozfest was only in Texas for one day. I met this band at a gig they were doing, and they were very cool guys. Hope Has Failed Us. If you're out there, you know what I mean. Shout out to you guys. Your honorable mention as well. But here we go. The number 1 band of all number 1 bands. Now, you'd be crazy to think that I wasn't going to pick this band, so I'm going to be like, just do a drum roll in your head. Of course, it's fucking Pantera. The greatest metal band to ever come out of fucking Dallas, Fort Worth area. The DFW, baby. Coming all the way from Arlington. That's right. And there's not much else to say. What is there to say about Pantera that hasn't already been said? If you want to know more about how I feel about Pantera, hey, here's an idea. Go check out my Eddie's Top 5 Pantera albums video, and then you'll get my exact opinion. So thank you guys for checking out the episode. As always, if you can hit that subscribe button, we appreciate every single one of you subscribers. We really do. We want to bump that number up. We're trying to create more content for all of you out there. So please, if you could, please hit that subscribe button. As always, I'm your main man, Eddie Monster. Keep it tuned in here. We will see you all next time. Stay metal.
Yo, what up, everybody? This is Mark from Suicide Silence.
And this is Brian Fair from Shadows Fall.
This is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here.
Yo, this is Gary Hall from Exodus and recently retired from Slayer, and
Hello, this is Becky Boulder from Handle Grapple and Fury.
Hey, this is Charlie with Anthrax. I just want to give a shout out to Pedal to the Metal Radio, the podcast.
The podcast to get all your rock and metal news plus reviews.
Keep it metal. Pedal to the Metal Radio, motherfuckers!